4 dermatology conferences you must attend in 2025. One of the main reasons you should attend them is because I'll be there. Welcome. I'm Dr. Kimberly Madison, a doctorally prepared nurse practitioner, and I specialize in dermatology nursing education and research. I come on every weekend on my YouTube channel, usually on Sundays, talking to you about my nurse practitioner entrepreneur series. We talk about everything from how to get your first job in dermatology to improving the lack of diversity in dermatology when it comes specifically to education and training, with emphasis on skin of color. And social media, we talk about what it's like to grow a business, to build a business, and what is the importance of being in community. I have several resources on the internet for you. In addition to this YouTube channel, I have Mahogany Dermatology blog. We have the DMV Dermatology MPPA group, and our new sister group, Derm NPs and PAs of Atlanta, which is a networking group for NPs and PAs who practice or aspire to practice in medical, surgical, and cosmetic dermatology. We have a Facebook page, Instagram page, and we do quarterly in-person meetings, typically sponsored by a company who talks to us about their medications. And this year, we'll be looking to just continue to evolve in how we utilize the community. And really, a lot of those ideas come from you all, what you tell us you need from us. And so every week that we come on, we continue this. It's an ongoing conversation. We have our main topic, like we do today, on there's a lot of conferences that happen throughout the year, and every day someone's on Facebook saying, what's the one I should attend? There's been a trend over the last few years on employers decreasing the amount of reimbursement they'll give for continuing education, or CEs, because when you go to a conference, you get CEs. And so that was one of the employee benefits package, if you will. And so we've been seeing a decrease in how much people are going to be getting reimbursed. And so people are like, okay, if I'm only going to get X amount of dollars, I want to make sure I spend it in the right place. And so people are asking all the time. And so I've already reviewed diversity in dermatology, gave a whole video dedicated to that. And I'm just going to share, we'll go over that one again, and then 3 more. I have 5 on my list right now as we're filming. It's January 2025. And so we'll go through that. We'll use our new sharing screen feature just to help you navigate the website, go over some pointers when it comes to registering for conference, how to stay organized with that so that you'll be have the documentation you need to get your reimbursement from your employer, and go over any points that come across when we're going through the website. In addition to the topic, we always talk about health and wellness, because I'm in the belief that if you are in the business of caring for other people, then you have to take care of yourself. And so I talk about my own health and wellness just as a way to inspire you to put it on your calendar and to make it a priority. So as we're standing here, I'm on my walking pad. I want to test this out and see if you can hear it. I think my battery died, because yesterday when I tried to, either it died or I turned it off because I think it wasn't working. But even now, it's not even clicking. So, but yeah, I started using a walking pad about 2 months now, because of all the time I spend on a computer. It ends up being a lot of sitting if you're not careful. And so this is one way to keep me up and keep me active. Let's jump into the health and wellness, because I want to try to film one more video in the hour before I have a meeting with one of you talking about your DMP project, your dermatology DMP project. I'm still writing the dermatology DMP project idea book. I have learned so much in writing this book, and that's why I tell you to write. Not only is it great for getting your first job, making yourself a key person of influence, but you learn so much. I never knew how many opportunities there were. They're not necessarily DMP project idea. Like, you go Google, it's not going to be like you're going to see like 100 ideas pop up. But when you start kind of digging into what options are out there, what organizations exist, what initiatives are being in place, you learn so much. And it's really fascinating. And so I can't wait to share that in the book with you. Of course, my target audience is dermatology students, but even those of us who are already graduates who are looking to make practice improvements, policy changes, it can be a benefit. I think nursing schools can really benefit from that. And of course, it's a bunch of dermatology ideas, but it could be utilized in other specialties. Certainly when you look through the book and the ideas, you can say, I can see how we can do this in cardio, women's health. I think rheum and allergy would be wonderful. There are sister specialties I would love to see. And I have some of those ideas in the book too. And you're going to see more of that in the market on us doing more integrative practices like that, because so many of the diseases require that interdisciplinary care. So we're going to get into our topic. Since I'm batch contenting, I don't have any updates on my health that I already talked about, but I didn't talk about my physical health because I did tell you that I added on an extra day of working out. And so I've been consistent with that and really happy. So I'm working out more. I do a lot of circuit training, and I've been able to lift more weights. And I was thinking about coming to do this update when I was working out yesterday. And I was like, wouldn't it be so nice if I could say, and I did some stretching, but I didn't do that. I need to do that, especially with the more lifting and just age and wear and tear. I need to do that. I have one day that would be great for that. So I'll keep you posted. But I did get new sneakers, and I can tell they were way overdue. I should have got new sneakers. And then I do need to replace my vitamin C. So I love this one. Matter of fact, it's 20% L-ascorbic acid with ferulic acid and maritime pine, brightening and firming serum, 30 cc's. It lasts a really long time. And you can use half to one pump, morning or night. I use it in the morning. And then they do have a moisturizer that they recommend that you use as well. I love that product. It ran out, and then I got some free product from La Roche. And so I've just been using that to be a smart consumer. But this is my favorite, and I'll be purchasing another bottle. But yeah, and then I've been eating a lot of veggie bowls, and fruit is pretty much the same. Nothing exciting, I think, in the fruit department. But yeah, happy with my veggie bowls. Those have been really good. And then my Love Bug purchased a bunch of Tabitha Brown. She has a bunch of seasonings that are salt-free. We love the one with, it's like lemon pepper. Love that one. Already went through that one in a week. And then she has another one that's like smoky sweet. It's like a barbecue flavor to it. I actually really like that one. It's just that the foods that I eat pretty much on a daily basis lend itself more to the lemon pepper one. But I did use that smoky one on some tofu, and it was perfect. And I'm trying to think I think it probably would be great with chicken. It might be good on some potatoes if you want kind of like a barbecue flavor there. Yeah, maybe a chili or something. Whatever you put barbecue sauce on, I think it would work really well. I've been making some aiolis too for different kind of dishes, and I think it would lend itself really well. Actually, you know what? That reminds me. We have some nuggets. Maybe when we make those nuggets, I might make an aioli using that sauce. I mean, the seasoning. And then this week I made 2 juices, celery, which probably had celery, cucumber, pear, and apple. And then the other one was beets, carrots, pineapple, lime. I think that's it. It was really, really good. And I think that's it for the health and wellness front. A lot of people are fasting soon. Oh, you know what I meant to tell you? I'm reading the Bible. I'm going through the Bible in 1 year. I did it when I was a little girl by myself. I don't remember what sparked that then, but a bunch of the churches are doing it now. And so we started on January 5th. And so through the Holy Bible app, it has different plans, like the ones I read from. One is chronological. There's a bunch of different, like 365-day Bible plans. This one is a chronological one because some of them kind of like, I don't know, they jump around a little bit. But this was great because it had a catch-up plan. So it helped me catch up, and it's wonderful. And it has an audio feature. So when you're on those busy days, when you say, oh, I don't have time, I can't do it, you can play it. And I'm listening to the New Living Translation right now, and the guy's voice, he's just bringing so much life to the scripture. It's fascinating. You know, we're still in Genesis at the moment. And I was telling my mom, who's doing it with me, like, Genesis is like a soap opera. There's so much going on. And so I am doing that. I forgot about that. So that's going really well. And so yeah, we'll read one of the devotionals, and then we'll get into our topic for today. So this one is titled Learn from the Wise. Wisdom is gained when knowledge meets experience. That is why those who are older tend to also be wiser. They have more life experience to learn from. It is necessary in life to learn from those who have more wisdom and experience because they can help us see things that we don't notice. Even though culture tells us that we should live our own truth and do whatever we think is best, it is this type of thinking that leads us in trouble. Our capacity for wisdom is limited to our experiences. This is why Scripture tells us not to be wise in our own eyes. True wisdom comes from fearing God. This means we should have a high regard for God's word and his instructions to us. He knows all things, including what is best for us. We can also gain wisdom from other people. When we learn from the mistakes and experiences of others, we're better equipped to not make the same mistakes. However, if you think you're the only one who knows best, then you are bound to repeat the same errors. Make a commitment today to listen to the wisdom and guidance of God in his word each and every day before you listen to anything else. Then commit to listening to the wisdom of trusted Christians in your life. Resolve not to go through life alone, but rather in community with others. And we invite you to be part of our community here. And since we're on this same day, we will read this prayer. So this is a series of scriptures for our prayer today. Just ask the animals and they will teach you. Ask the birds of the sky and they will tell you. Speak to the earth and it will instruct you. Let the fish in the sea speak to you, for they all know that my disaster has come from the hand of the Lord. For the life of every living thing is in his hand, and the breath of every human being. Ask God to show you how creation reveals his nature and character. Take some time to process what comes to mind and honor God with your praise. A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit saps a person's strength. Take a moment to process. How are you feeling right now? Is there anything weighing you or a loved one down? Talk to God about whatever is on your mind in this moment. And you can pause the video and keep praying. And I'm going to play the little music that comes along with it because I love it. It's so calming. I was telling one of my students yesterday, she's a pre-PA student, shout out to her, that right before bed, I don't play that music, but I have a playlist on YouTube that I put together when I used to have trouble sleeping. It's like the crystal singing bowls. And I just play that at night. I used to have to sleep through it, get me to sleep, and it would get me to sleep in 5 minutes. But now I just play it at night when I'm doing my nighttime routine and I have candle. I usually like to have something scented. But I do have a LED candle, so it's a timer, so it's one less thing I have to do, and it automatically, comes on and turns off, and it just sets the ambiance. It helps trigger my mind and body to start slowing down, wind down, calm all those ideas down. So that's one idea. So let's get into these conferences. The first one we're going to do is diversity in dermatology. I'm going to share my screen. And let's see. And like I said, so actually, you know what? I'm going to put in the description box. I need to update that. DERM times. And we might even do one of those too. Actually, why don't we do that first? I shouldn't have so many tabs to go through. But I do. It's too bad I can't search them. And it's funny because they're not in like synchronous order either. Okay, here we go. Bam. So here you can go. Derm Times is wonderful. And look, audio. Listen, look at that.
Dermatology Times has asked our readers to share with us what conferences and meetings they are looking forward to or planning to attend in 2025.
So they do a wonderful job every year. They post conferences, and I come here too, and I look at them. Now, you can see in January, so the time I'm filming is January 18th. And so, they just had Winter Clinical. Winter Clinical is actually a really great conference. And I'm going to focus on the NPPA friendly conferences. There are some that are not NPPA friendly, so we're not going to get into those. But Maui Derm, I've heard, is really a little bit, once you're a bit more advanced, certainly you can go. It's not going to be a wasted trip to go to Hawaii. And they do Maui Derm in other locations too, by the way, even in the country. But yeah, they're right now. Oh, people are heading over there now, January 20th. So that'll be wonderful. And actually, I think they played a webinar from that conference yesterday. Look, Paris, France. So next month, South Beach Symposium will be in Florida. Yeah, by the time you're watching this, it's too late to go to Maui DERM, but you could go to this one, which I don't know what IMACS is. International Medical Cosmetic Aesthetics Society. Let's see who we are. It doesn't say. But anyway, that's one you could go to. I'm not familiar with that one. So in February, they have the South Beach Symposium in Miami. And a lot of places, I feel like everybody kind of goes to the same locations or they follow one another. But you can see you can go to San Diego for the Dermatology Symposium, Dermatology Research and Education Foundation. That'll be February. Winter Clinical in Hawaii. Oh, okay. They're doing 2 winter clinical master classes in DERM. In March, we have the Skin of Color Society. AAD will be in Florida. We were there 2 years ago. Look, there's Everything Dermatology. We'll be in Louisville. The Multi-Specialty Aesthetic Conference in South Carolina. That could be a good one. But if you go to that one, you won't be able to see me in Louisville. In April, we have the World Congress of Pediatric Derm. That's in Argentina. I would love to go. This is Rapids. I think it's the same guy who runs Elevate Derm because he told me about this one. I'm going to have to join them one year, this Puerto Rico one. I will be here. I just registered for SDMP. We're going to go over this one in detail in Indian Wells, April 30th to May 3rd. So you can see there's a whole bunch here you can check out. And yeah. This is SDPA. They're going to DC. Oh, wow. I should try to coordinate. Maybe I don't really like to do meetups in the summer though, but I might need to make myself present for that one. I'm glad we did that. I was going to write an article on the conferences anyway, but yeah, that's good to know. Here's the Elevate Derm one we're going to go over. I registered for this one already. And I added this one. So they actually didn't have anything in August earlier this week when I looked, but they do. I told them about this when they added it. So that's nice to see. And so you can see there's quite a bit, and it's not even completely finished. It will continue to get filled out. So you have so many options. Oh, then they're going to go to Tampa. Okay, so let's jump into it. So let's do diversity in dermatology. Oh, were you even able to see that whole time? Oh my gosh, were you able to see? No, I don't even know if you were able to see. Hi, we can't see you. We can only hear you. Oh, okay, I'm okay with that. So right now we're gonna go, which is funny because I can see myself. Okay, but thank you for that feedback. So right now we're at diversity in dermatology. So this is the home page. I don't know why I'm the only one looking off to the sky. But anyway, when you come here, you're gonna go to the first tab here, and we've already gone over the agenda. But when you're picking out a conference, that's one of the first things you wanna do. And someone asked me, how do I pick out a conference? Well, my affiliation with diversity in dermatology, that determines that I'm going to go to that one. And then you look at the calendar, like your own calendar, your availability, when you like to travel. And then certainly with the feedback that you're going to get from your peers is going to give you a lot of information. And so once you've looked through the agenda and you decide topics I want to hear about, for me, I would say location has a lot to do with it. So all the places I picked, so the location and the organization is probably would say the first things for me. And so that's usually where I start. And so then you're going to come to the registration, and most conferences will give you an early bird registration. And so you want to keep an eye out for that, especially if you register right before, like during that conference. So this year when we were in Louisville, they'll make the announcement, open up registration. That's usually when you're going to get the best deal. So I know the Dermatology Education Foundation, DEF, they go to Vegas every year. That same week of their conference last year, it was $25 to register. And it's like, even if you don't go, I mean, did you really waste 20? Is it $25? And so when I registered for Elevate Derm in Utah, that was like $99. So no, you're going to fill out your information, put in your credentials and specialty, where you work, your NPI number. If you have an NPI number, that's for providers, MDs, NPs, PAs. That's a free number that you can get yourself online. There's a website for that. And then your address. Sometimes you want to put an address. Sometimes they might want to mail you something. So if it's a conference, sometimes early bird people might get like extra swag. And if you attend webinars where they're giving out product, they might want to send you the product. And so just be mindful of which address you use. Then you put your preferred name and badge, how long you've been practicing. A lot of times if you're referred by someone, there's usually that person might get some kind of deal or discount the more people who refer them. So that's why that is there. If you don't have one and you're working hard, on behalf of that organization to get people to come, you can ask them, hey, can I get a referral code? Maybe you already have a group of people you're affiliated with. You're like, oh, can we get a group discount? Can we get a referral code? So even if you don't see that option, you can always ask. And then, of course, put in your dietary preferences like myself. And then this is a chance for you to dictate what you see at conferences. I think I always put something in there about nutrition. I always put something in there about nutrition. And so they do take that feedback, and it helps when they're planning out the conference for the next year. And I know for us, when you register for diversity in dermatology, we do have those receptions that you have to register for right at the time of registration. And we have our 3 workshops. So you can see that Erica Berry, also known as the Injector Bunny, will be doing the aesthetics course. Only 100 people are allowed to be part of that. And they tell you that it's going to be Thursday on the 27th from 3:15 to 5:15. So you have to register for that. In addition to that, you have the other workshops that you can sign up for. So we have our dermoscopy one and our surgery one. And then if you're not a member, obviously, and that's every organization, it's going to always cost more. And when you're a student, that's the best time to go because it's going to be a lot cheaper. So right now for members, it's $199. If you're a non-member, it's $299, and students, it's $99. So that's diversity in dermatology. And now we're going to switch over to SDNP, which I said I just registered for. And I came on here not too long ago and talked to you all about their Emerging Scholars Program. And so if you participated in that, they emailed you and gave you a code to register for the conference for free, friends. Now, at the time that I'm recording, it's too late to register, but that's one of the benefits of being a member, being on the email list, and participating in some of these other things, because then you get opportunities for other things. So this is their homepage. You do sign in right away, and then you can go over here to check out the events tab. And you can check out the old conferences too, if you have like questions to figure out who's going to be there. So Society of Dermatology Nurse Practitioners, they're the only organization dedicated to dermatology nurse practitioners. Their conference will be in Indian Wells at the Renaissance Esmeralda Resort and Spa. It's gorgeous. Sounds gorgeous. I've actually never been to Indian Wells. So here's the conference. And they have the scholarship. You can still apply. So before the month is over, you can apply for the George Martin Scholarship. You have to be a student. I've told some of you students about this. So yeah, make sure you take advantage of that. Their board is open. So you want to know how you can get your first job in dermatology? Think outside the box. So they have positions available for the secretary and president-elect. Now, if you don't have any experience, I can understand why you wouldn't jump to the president. But the secretary is that's a great way to get your foot in the door, both in DERM, but also in board leadership. Maybe you've never done that either. You're a little nervous. Well, secretary is it's a role that you can pretty much understand. A lot of it is going to be note-taking, history-taking, maybe keeping time of the meeting, making sure everyone gets out on time. So go ahead and apply for that. So right now, if you're trying to get into DERM, nobody knows you exist, right? But when you affiliate yourself with a national organization, they already know they exist. This is like Amazon. Everybody knows Amazon exists. So as long as you put your product on Amazon, people will find you. It's the same way here. They'll find you through your affiliation, through them mentioning you on their website, their social media, the events, other things you might participate in. When opportunities present themselves, you'll be asked if you want to be in that. So let's say you do secretary for the next 3 years, right? Because this is it looks like a 3-year appointment. So now you've done that for 3 years. During that 3 years, you learned so much about the organization, the other roles. So when it comes time for the president-elect position to be open again, you might feel confident, like, I know I can do this. And plus, by then your heart will be in the organization. And when you see that they need a need, you're going to be more inclined to want to help them. So that's another way you can get your foot in the door when it comes to dermatology. So let's look at registration, which I thought I already clicked on. Okay, so here are the rates. So if you're a member, so right now, if you membership, let's run over there real fast. Because if you're a student, that was the benefits. If you're a student, you can join for free. Oh, that was it. Okay, so look right here. So look, if you're a student, all you have to do is put in Spring Fling and you can get it for free. And that's just from a reading. Otherwise, once you do become licensed, you'll pay $135. And then if you're certified, it's 0. If you're corporate level, 500. And if you're retired, 25. And so you see those rates that you're paying there. So then when you go to sign up for the conference, you can get a little bit of a discount. And so right now, if you're a member until the end of the month, everything ends soon. It's $199, then it's going to jump to $249, and you can see down the list how that is. Some other things that you can sign up for, they always do the certification review there for nurse practitioners. And so that's a special increased fee that you'll have to do. A lot of people do go to this conference specifically for that course review. There's going to be a special, so then they have workshops also for an extra fee, but at least that extra fee, the rate is the same regardless of when you register. So they'll have the HSD roofing for $175, cosmetics, suturing, basic and advanced. I wonder who's doing this. Last year, it was Dr. Teresa Talons. She's a ductal nurse practitioner in Virginia Beach. She's the owner of and founder of Pulse, where she does basic and advanced suturing. She has like online courses and workshops. She's going to have an in-person event later this year. She is part of the DB Dermatology NPPA group, and she's the one who started the Facebook page for dermatology, for surgical derm NPs and PAs. So that's her. She did their workshop last year. I don't know if she's doing their workshop this year, but yeah. And I did pick one of these. I picked one of these workshops. I want you to tell me in the comments which workshop you think I signed up for. I'm not even going to tell you until the conference, and then I'll just show you. So that's that. And then you're going to sign up for, oh, they have a whole bunch of little things here. Ooh, posters. So they don't have anything yet. Sometimes leading up to the conference, they're still working, so you won't always see everything. But usually the agenda is up there and the registration is up there for the hotel. I think the hotel happens really, really fast. So you can see with conference, it starts early. Conference days are long days. So I know sometimes you look at the fee for the hotel and you might say, oh, I'll just go somewhere cheaper in Uber. I did that for my first conference and regretted it because I had to wake up even that much earlier to get there. And then the amount of money I spent traveling back and forth twice a day, it just didn't, for me, it wasn't worth it. And so if anything, just, you're going to spend the money. So just bite the bullet, register early so you can get that discount, and then find a buddy. Some of the conferences, like we have the Huva app. Once that opens, you'll be able to communicate with speakers and attendees, and that's a great way to get a roommate. You can also ask other people who kind of know people to find a good roommate for you, a good match. And so there are ways to save money. So anyway, the conference starts really early, 7:00 with breakfast. And then, it looks like you can still register the first day. I don't know how long, I don't know if there would be a capacity reached though. So yeah, they'll be doing neoplasms. Oh, this is all for the certification. So let's see. I wonder if it's just for everyone, but it counts as certification. So neoplasms, adnexal disorders, hair, nails, mucous membranes, cosmetology, cosmetic and photo damage. Let's see. Ooh, psychodermatoses. More people are going to be doing this. Even the Society of Skin of Color Society UK, I saw this was on their agenda, which I think is really, really important. So actually more people have been doing urticaria lately. They did it at Elevate Derm last summer, and it was really good. That lecture was given by an allergist, and it was just invaluable, the tips he brought up. And then they have their board meeting dinner. If you're on the board, you get to go to that dinner. They're usually very nice. And yeah, you can see. Oh, I guess that this means he's doing the workshop. Dr. Crandall. And then cosmetics is Dr. Vincent Smith. And more neoplasms, pigmentary and vascular disorders. I love bullous disorders. Suturing. Okay, so yeah, we can already see who's doing it, who's doing these courses. And then the Emerging Scholars Program. So if you applied for that, you have to come to the conference. I think the Emerging Scholars Program is at the conference. It's not like a year-long program. And so you had to agree to be available for certain dates. And you can see right here where some of that activity is going to take place. Oh, genodermatoses. That's a good one. Bites, stings, infestations. Concluding remarks, the certification celebration by Arcutis. Birthmarks, pediatrics, psoriasis, peds, dermos. When to refer to oncology, what to expect. Skin protection and skin of cancer, skin of color. There's one session. I think that's all we've seen so far. Oh, they're going to give out some awards. Panel discussions. General skincare, acne. Acne is always on the list. Hair loss, rashes, drug rashes, really good. So that's that. Oh, they're going to have HUVA too. See, and if you are on the planning committee, HUVA will send you like invitations to their online webinars so that you can learn more about how that works. And if you're in the business of planning events, it can also be really beneficial to you. So the next conference will be in July that I'm going to is July Elevate Derm in Utah at the Grand Hyatt Deer Valley. It's a new facility that opened from July 27th to the 30th. And I'm so excited about this one. I just love that part of the country. It's beautiful. So let's look at our rates. It already ended. So they're early bird. So this was this fee, this $99. That's what I was able to pay when I was at the Boston one. And then the next early bird ends, you have all the way till June 11th for this one for $199. That's pretty good. That's a long time. And then basically within that 30-day window, it jumps to $399. So, there's a lot of incentive to book early. And then, of course, if you're with the last minute, it's going to be $500 pretty much. So let's see if they have their agenda. Oh, coming soon. Yeah. Okay, so then when you go to register, here you can see the beautiful facility with the mountains. Oh, I just find that so breathtaking. Maybe they have the agenda here. Nope, not yet. And then lodging, that is available. And so it's going to be at the Grand, what is that? At Deer Valley. You can see some of the images here. I haven't booked that one yet, but I will. So the group rate is going to be $339. It is a resort. It's a beautiful resort. Let's see. Let's take you through here. Look at that. I hope all the rooms have that view. Now, of course, it will be this summer. So depending on how high they are in the mountains, it may or may not have snow. Nice modern bathroom. One of the things about the thing, like you go to the conference because of the location, but the days are so long. They can end as late as they usually end at 5. Then there's some kind of a activity like a reception or like cocktail hour. And so it ends pretty late and then you go to dinner or something. And of course, if they have a reception, most of them have a reception that might be from 7 to 9. So it's a very long day. After going to quite a few now, I take off that following Monday because I'm exhausted. So transportation will be to the Salt Lake City International Airport, and they have some ground transportation available too. You get a 50% off if you need parking. So yeah, go ahead and check that one out. And like I said, they have a bunch of different conferences that they do, different locations. I think they do some pretty nice locations actually. The guy who did it, like I said, he is doing the one for Rapids in Puerto Rico. And they have some fall meetings too. So let's do our last one, which is Learn Skin. So if you're not familiar with Learn Skin, this is their homepage. They do integrative dermatology. They do a bunch of things that I think are super, super helpful. Can you see the screen now? I like that I have a moderator today. We can't see your screen again. Can you see it now? We can't. Well, I think you can see it now. So Learn Skin, they do integrative derm. Like I said, they have multiple things that they can offer for you. Conferences we'll get into, CMEs, both through, they have certifications and webinars. I love that they do education for estheticians. And then you can see they have different CMEs depending on your licensure. So yeah, let's go. And then they have their podcasts, which is super helpful, super informative, and they cover all kind of diagnoses, as you can see here on the screen, from acne to hair, rosacea, neuropathy, naturopathy, eczema, cosmeceuticals, sun protection, and then their certifications: integrative dermatology, clinical and integrative essentials 1 and 2, and then their esthetician certification. So let's go to the conference. So I don't know. I noticed that it's Learn Skin, but they call it. They're like sponsoring this one. It's called Integrative Dermatology Symposium, and it'll be August 22nd to the 24th in Tucson, Arizona, for $199, and you can get 25 CMEs. You can see here a little bit of overview of what to expect there. And look, I was just about to mention Brittany. So Brittany is one of the leaders at Diversity in Dermatology. She is a PA out in Chicago, and she's actually been on the Learn Skin podcast before. So yeah, and that's her thing. And so over at Diversity in Dermatology, we actually have our Skintegrative series. So Brittany and Tracy, another PA out in Chicago, put together some integrative courses for us, and that's their thing. And actually, Tracy, she was in a program, in the integrative program, and then she also is finishing up her doctorate at GW, my alma mater. And so I love Learn Skin. I love integrative medicine. Oh, this is that guy, the black guy that was just there. I can't think of his name, but he's on the board. They have a board for estheticians, and he's out in LA. He's an esthetician. He's been in the industry for decades, and he does a lot of men care, and he has a special service for men who have gone through cancer treatment, which I just think is amazing. But he's super nice, really helpful videos, and I just love to see men taking care of themselves and how much they enjoy it. So let's look at the conference. So look how beautiful that is. The Westin La Paloma Resort and Spa. That enough right there. I don't even think I need to say anything else. Just look at that and say, yeah, I'm going. I love Arizona. If you've never been, it's breathtaking. So this is the registration form. You're going to put in your name and email, your degree. And then, so they have 2 options here, the Learn Skin Premium and the IDS for $499. If you're already a member, you can register for free, which is another benefit to membership. So let's see what I want to see here. Let's look at their agenda so you can see what kind of topics they talk about when it comes to, that's registration. So they're going to do weight loss and fitness, mindful reset. They're going to have some case studies, eczema, HS, vitiligo, and so, if you're not familiar with integrative medicine, a lot of integrative practices are all about solving the problem and starting with gut health, and also what other things could be triggering this. So sleep, stress, the environment, those are kind of like their bread and butter, and just finding the cause of the problem. And so I feel like they recommend supplements and lifestyle changes before they will write a prescription. They will write prescriptions. They do write prescriptions, but the practice is usually to find these other methods that can also get to the same outcome. Some more case studies, poster presentations. We'll talk more about poster presentations in an upcoming video. Urticaria, I told you, everybody's doing itching. Psoriasis, they do a lot of psoriasis on the podcast too. Alopecia areata. Oh, that's a new one. Cocoa polyphenols and skincare. And then integrate and inspire reception, immersive learning session, non-CME. And then the last day on Sunday, you notice they had fitness activities on each day. Inflammaging, pediatrics, Skinnergy. Everyone always tries to come up with really interesting names. Itch and prurigo. If you haven't had a chance to hear a lecture on prurigo nodularis, it's really, really helpful. I think we still have one up on diversity in dermatology, because we did like 2 summers ago, called Perspectives, and that was one of the topics that we talked about. So that's all the conferences that thank you, Jade. That's all you know what? Is this little Jade? Which Jade is this? Now I know too many Jades now. Is this my little Jade in Virginia? I just realized that. So she's going to tell me which Jade she is, and I'm going to wrap up. So go head over to the Mahogany Dermatology blog and check out some of the latest articles we have. So Jade, my intern, will be making her debut on the blog on the first Monday in February 3rd. She'll tell you all about her derm dreams and her journey in derm. She has over 10 years of experience in dermatology. She's right here in Texas with me. We'll be meeting up soon in person. We dropped the 17 dermatology fellowship and training programs for NPs. Every day someone wants to know a conference to attend. We just answered that question. Oh, you have the same middle name. You have the same middle name as my little Jade in Virginia. And so that's why I was like, then I got confused because I know she watches these videos. I'm so glad you're here. And then, now you just got me. So yeah, we have every day everyone wants to know the conferences. So we just went over 4 of them. And we also started this video by sending you to Derm Times where they keep track of all the conferences for the year. And I went over some that are NPPA friendly. And then, don't overlook the PA ones. You can go to those too. Those are really great. I heard a lot of good things about Fall Clinical and SDPA. They're really friendly to NPs too. And then we talked about my Ministry of Medicine over there, how you can use AI to get your first job in dermatology. And yeah, I think that's it. You can still register for diversity in dermatology. We do hope to see you in the building. I want to send you over to the Dermatology Nurses Association's Focus newsletter where they premiered one of my articles. It was a featured article for Q4 for 2024 Q4. I told you my goal for 2025 is to be in every single edition. And so that was Q4. So I am going to submit an article to them this week for the next one. Me and Jade have an interview coming up. By the time you watch this, we will have already had our meeting with Derm Engine. We signed up for a demo so we can learn about how their product works. We talked about that last week when we talked about using AI to get your first job in dermatology. And we invite you to come over to the Derm and Ps of Atlanta and the DMV Dermatology and PPA group, either on Facebook or Instagram. And soon we'll make an announcement about our first mixer for this spring. We'll keep you posted on that. Allie is in a dermatology externship right now. And she's sharing that on social media. So she'll be giving you her advice and asking for your questions, what she should be looking for when she goes. And I already did a video to help you create your own externship. One of you I met recently, I think he might actually try it. He's already started doing the basket idea, which you can use to get preceptors, shadowing, and even a job. I know an MP who just called up an office. She used to refer patients to them as an RN in dermatology. And she's like, hey, I'm an NP now. Do you need any help? And they set up an interview and she got hired. So really, there's really no one way to get your first job. I think it's just to be focused and dedicated. And that NP in particular, she had been trying to get a job for like 2 years. And she's done everything from attend dinners and conferences and all these courses. And if anyone deserved that job, it was her. She was very, very committed. I learned a lot from her too, by the way. And so right now I'm going to hop off and have a meeting about a dermatology DNP project idea. Since I talked to her last time, she was supposed to meet with her advisor. It had originally been a different idea, kind of like a primary care. Like if you're in academia, your advisors are going to steer you in primary care because that's their thing. And that's what they're teaching you in school. And so she was a little bit discouraged at first because she didn't want to do something else. So since she was on break, she met me. We've been brainstorming for a while. And so she had a meeting with her advisor this week. And so I'm eager to see what they said and read her latest draft. But I'll have to come back and finish filming, doing this batch content after that. You know who else I'm meeting today? Jasmine Cofield. She is one of the co-founders of the PAC, the Physician Associates of Color. We've invited her to come on the podcast and talk about the organization and her own experience. And so I'm so excited. We always tell you to get mentors, and I mentor a lot of nurses and Ps and things like that. But I do have a PA student, and I'm going to close with this. She was looking for a lot of PA mentors. And, when it comes to working with clinicians, it's tough. Even as someone in business who's always trying to collaborate with clinicians, I partner with clinicians to get work done. They're a tough bunch because they're very busy. And so what I told her, and which might help you, especially if you're contacting people on social media and in real life, is which I tell you all the time, you have to do as much thinking for them as possible. So if you're going to message someone, email or text, one message, okay? Your name, what you need, when you need it. And if you can attach that with a calendar link, hey, this is so-and-so, I met you at this dinner. It'd be great to catch up and talk about me potentially shadowing you in the spring from, January 15th to May 1st. I'm looking for 200 hours. These are the days I'm available. If you are open and willing, here's my calendar link. You've told them who you are, what's required of them, how much you need, and they can click on something and schedule an appointment. If you have to go back and forth with, hey, how are you? What's your availability? Are you interested? What's a good time for you? I don't know my schedule yet. Like, you know how long you have to wait for that conversation to end? They're never going to finish that. They're never coming back. And so that's something I practice, right? So if I say, hey, are you available? If so, use this link, pick a day and time that works for you. You can use Google for free. You can go in there and set up your calendar. Sometimes if my calendar is booked, I might ask someone, hey, do you have a calendar invite? And I'll use theirs. And if not, I just create my own. It has made my life tremendously easier. And you can go in there and put in your availability. If you only want to meet certain days of the week, then you just block off the other days, the times. You can sync it with your other calendars. So when you sign up for things or schedule things, it's already booked. This is a great tip if you're in a relationship. You can share calendars. It can make your life so much easier. Instead of getting mad that your partner forgot something, you just put it in the calendar. All your breaks, your dates, your appointments. Like when people tell me, oh, I just remember, I just memorize it. That's someone I can't work with because the memory is fleeting. And so, especially if you're going to get into entrepreneurship, you just need to do the things that are income generating, and remembering things is not one of them. And so, yeah, that was my tip for her because she was getting a little frustrated because she was trying to get mentors. And so when it comes to mentors or preceptors, unless your school is very, very specific, you can be mentored or precepted by anybody, MD, MP, or PA. There are some little nuances, and yes, it's really, really nice if you can be precepted by the person who is in the same role that you desire to be in. That was something I really wanted to experience, and so I understand that, but don't let that stop you. And we all basically end up at the same place at the end of the day. So she's going to be sent, so her plan, like I said, she's a pre-PA student. She does have a patient experience, and her plan was to just submit her application to some schools and wait for them to give her feedback. And based on that feedback, she was going to then go do some other things to make herself more competitive. And I said, you don't need to, we can look at your application right now and tell you if you're competitive. And so she's going to email me her resume, transcript, personal statement. And then I asked for some other things like volunteer experience, shadowing. I want to see numbers, because one thing she was like, she's like, so let's say I get a letter back and they say, no, you're not accepted. I'll email them and ask for feedback. Now, I think I've only applied to one place. I never got accepted. And I already knew I didn't get accepted. So I didn't need to call them and ask. But I don't know, do people do that? Do they contact schools and say, hey, why didn't I get accepted? I like that idea though. And then getting some feedback. But basically, and then, she was thinking like, oh, they might say she doesn't have enough shadow experience. If she already thinks she doesn't have enough shadowing experience, that's probably a good indication that she needs to get some more shadowing experience. And so just in talking, I was like, it needs to be quantified, because if they're going to come back and tell you you don't have enough, then they must have an idea of what is enough or what's an average. I like 200. She said that some schools have said 100. So 100 is probably good if you want to be competitive and get into your top school. That's also a very competitive school. I would say go for 200, just because it's going to put you above everyone else. But it's just going to be so much more insightful for you, because the longer you do something, the better understanding you get. So anywhere between 100 and 2, I think, is great. But yeah, and I told her also how to use ChatGPT to help evaluate her application against other people who have already applied to the program. So that's it for now. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for leaving comments, Jade, and spending some of your Saturday with me, and for helping to moderate. And for your patience as I do these slides. I was trying to check out these features. I'm always trying to teach you guys anything that I think might be helpful while we're doing this. I still think live is the best thing to do. I still think batch content is the best thing to do. And so I'm just trying to make this as seamless transition for you all as possible. I thank you for your feedback. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.